It's once again time to mock the teams that were in the top 25. Anyway, let's begin.
Hey, Florida, remember when some people say that you never lost to Kentucky in the last 32 years? Well, since 1986, you just lost to Kentucky. That's cute. That's that's really cute, you know. All the Florida Gator fans that were excited and always get their hopes up every year, all of a sudden just lost to Kentucky. So, out of the ranks. And yeah, I guess they don't want people want their. I guess the fans want their coach gone. Next! For those who picked an upset alert with South Carolina, there's something wrong with you. And for a lot of people that actually thought South Carolina was going to give Georgia some problems, think again. South Carolina is a weak school. Yes, they're SEC, but they have no shot. And really, this team's equal probably to the Mount West Conference in South Carolina. And Georgia, you haven't even impressed me at all. You haven't played a team like LSU, Auburn, and Alabama yet. You haven't played those teams yet. So far, I'm not impressed with Georgia. Wake me up until you play a serious team. Next. Well done, Oregon. You beat Portland State. Anybody can beat Portland State, well, except for Washington State. But let's be for real. What's the point of watching the Ducks in their first 3 games? Like, let's all be for real. They play Stanford in 2 weeks and play St. Jose State. You kidding me? Look, nothing has impressed me with the Ducks so far. I don't get talking with Oregon until they play someone ranked and beat somebody ranked. Okay, for those who say Oregon's going to have an undefeated season, there's something wrong with you. You're either drunk or you're a biased Duck fan. Let's be for real. These first 3 games are nothing. They're like preseason games. A high school football team, a junior high school football team, and now a high school football team again. Wake me up until you play Stanford. Next. Miami. That's cute. That's really cute. You scored 77 points on a high school football team, and yet you still got demolished against LSU. So you know what that means. You're overrated. You guys are not going to be a good team this year. You'll probably make it to the ACC championship. That's a maybe. But I'm not buying you guys. You guys are just playing a high school team. Yeah, 77-0 over a pathetic team. Wake me up when you play a real team. Oh wait, once you do, you'll get crushed. Next. Is there still really any hope for this team to actually make the college football playoffs? Honestly, come on. They don't even play anyway serious until Saturday against Oklahoma State. And yet again, that team will find its way to choke. Oklahoma State will probably lose to Boise State. But really, Boise State, are you still thinking you're going to make the college football playoffs? You're not. I'm going to repeat this part. You're not, because you're not in a top 5 conference. And really, if they go undefeated season, they deserve it because they play in a weak conference. Next. UCF hasn't even impressed me at all so far. Let's be for real. UCF's got an easy schedule. Now they're playing a hard team in North Carolina. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. North Carolina is so pathetic. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they have another undefeated season and don't make the college football playoffs. I would be so not surprised if that happens. Honestly, I don't care what this team has gotten. They have an easy schedule for crying out loud. And so far, they're the best team in Florida. Wake me up until you play a real team. Next! How was I so foolish to pick Kansas State? How dumb was I? Pretty dumb, I guess. Mississippi State still has not proven me anything, really. I personally think this team is not really much of a big threat to Alabama, Georgia, or Auburn. They're not really that much big of a threat, personally. I don't care what happens to this team. I still think this team's somewhat overrated. Wake me up until they play someone real. Next. My one big question is, Ratisio, how the actual heck do you barely kept up with SMU in the second half? No, seriously. I need to know, how the heck did you barely handle this team? The first half. The first half, you barely handled them. You barely did. And in the second half, you exploded and destroyed them Honestly, you can't have this against Ohio State, which that should be probably a great game to watch. But if you do that again, but versus Ohio State, I'm picking Ohio State to win. So better be careful. Next. The fact that this team was actually playing pretty good, and somehow it was a decent game. But however, someone had to lose. And it turns out now Big Ten teams at Arizona State University, in the whole time, a whole franchise of Arizona State, Big Ten teams are now 0-10. And you lost the Sun Devils. You lost to the Sun Devils. What's next? The Sun Devils make the college football play. Oh, God. No. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. We're not thinking about that. But still, you lost to Arizona State. You're screwed. Your season's over. Next. And overrated. Do I have to talk about this one? Once again, not impressed with from West Virginia. Honestly, wake me up until they play someone big. Like Oklahoma, TCU. Wake me up until they play those teams. I don't think this team's really a huge contender for the Big 12 title. But we'll see what happens later on this year. But we all know who they played. A high school team. Next. Yeah, you bounce back huge, right? Right. Yeah, they actually did bounce back after almost losing to Appalachian State. Penn State, I'm still not impressed with you. I still don't trust you after you almost lost to Appalachian State. I'm not trusting them. Personally, I don't think this team can beat the Buckeyes. I'm being serious. I don't think this team can. But maybe this year they will. We'll have to see. But honestly, we'll see what happens. They're still overrated in my point of view. Next. After an impressive win last week, now fans are probably saying this team can actually beat Alabama. Oh, for God's sake. Here we go again. And also, great Hail Mary. I will admit, that was a good Hail Mary. But my gosh, are you serious? Are LSU fans once again bragging about this team actually can beat teams like Alabama, Auburn, and Georgia? Are you serious? Are they actually talking about this? If that's so, don't get your hopes up every single time you think you can beat Alabama because you beat a ranked team. But honestly, they're not to me contenders. Don't get fooled by them. They won't beat Alabama. Maybe Auburn. Just maybe Auburn. But I am not going to call them SEC contenders unless they beat Alabama. So all those fans who are probably drunk and biased as ever, thinking that they have a chance against Alabama because it's LSU and it's in the SEC, think again. Next. Oh, hey, a Pac-12 championship rematch. I can't believe I almost went for USC. I can't believe it. Can I say some things real quick? Stanford was very impressive. USC was just garbage. Okay, let's be for real. Well, many people are saying USC's going to the Pac-12 title. I still don't think so. I mean, what did this game prove? And last week's game, having to struggle against UNLV. They're not Pac-12 contenders anymore. Honestly, Stanford, the way you played was great, but here's the problem. You didn't play a team with a real quarterback. If you did this against Oregon, let's say actually Herbert was a USC Trojan. You know what? I would have given you a great compliment. Or Jake Browning as a USC Trojan. But there's the thing. They didn't play a real QB like one of those two. Stanford, I still think, is going to be a good team this year. College football playoffs? I don't know. I'm not up there with them yet. But, hey, at least Love did show some love for every Pac-12 fan destroying USC, at least. But you have to wake me up until you play a team with a real quarterback. But still, this was an impressive win from Stanford, and they're in the top 10. But they've been here before, and they choked near the end, so don't be fooled yet. Next! Washington, after losing to Auburn in the heartbreak, you bounce right back to against a high school team. Honestly, I've not been so far. I kind of was impressed from last week because of how close they kept the game. But for this one, I think we all expected this team to actually beat North Dakota. But honestly, I don't know how much time Washington will have until they choke near the end like they did last year. Will it happen? We'll have to see. But for now, I still think they're the Pac-12 champions this year. Who you play next? Oh, not a high school team. Next! Did you seriously almost... Did you really have a close game with Ball State? At this point, I don't know from Notre Dame. I still don't think this team needs to be in the college football playoffs. I don't know. I know it sounds weird to put Notre Dame in the college football playoffs since they don't have a conference. But really, after this game, I'm like this. Oh my gosh. They have not really impressed me. Come on, you played an overrated Michigan team last week, and you somehow barely handled Ball State. Wake me up until you play like USC. Next. Wow, Auburn, you beat Alabama State. Even though that was an impressive win last week against Washington. But can we all be for real for a second? Can they really beat Bama and LSU and all those guys? Come on. Seriously. I mean, yes, I did pick Auburn to make the SEC title. But after really watching that Washington game and strugglings, and yet they played a high school football team like this, until they play Alabama and Georgia. And I think they play LSU this year. Until they play those three teams, we'll see what this team will become. But for now, that you are what you are right now. Next. Did you personally think that Oklahoma was going to be upset from UCLA? Let's be for real. UCLA has a new head coach in Chip Kelly. And now fans are saying Chip Kelly should be fired. Because so far, has Chip Kelly proven that he's only a guy who can only fit the system of only one team. Oklahoma, you haven't so far impressed me yet. You still need to play against a big-time team like TCU. I know that sounds stupid, but if TCU beats Ohio State, then we could be talking. But for now, Oklahoma hasn't really impressed me. And, your running back's out for the year. Or, God stinking dang it, someone actually life gets hurt every single time. The fact that you had struggles against New Mexico, and then, oh my gosh, near the end of the third quarter, you were having struggles with New Mexico. Then you finally exploded and exploded. Can we all be real right here? Is Wisconsin really now a contender? Because I did pick them to go to the college football playoffs, but at this point, I think I have to rechange my mind. Honestly, Wisconsin has not really impressed me at all, especially near the beginning of the third quarter, and then in the first half, having struggles against New Mexico. Are you kidding me? New Mexico. You're having struggles against New Mexico. Look, I don't care if they won like how they did, but this team at this point I think could be overrated. I'm sorry to say it from Wisconsin fans, but let's be for real. Can they beat teams like the Buckeyes or Michigan State or Penn State at this point? Yeah, they probably could beat Michigan, but I don't know about those teams anymore. Honestly, wake me up until you play someone serious. Next. Oh, wow, the Buckeyes are 2-0. I think we all saw this coming. Let's all be for real. Ohio State hasn't even played anyone serious. And yet this is a team that gave 31 points to the Oregon State Beavers. I don't know how you do that. I personally don't. Okay, maybe I do. But still, honestly, this Ohio State team's got a real test coming up. And if they could somehow beat TCU with no Urban Meyer, then you know what? I think we should all be impressed by Ohio State if it happens, because I personally don't know what is going to happen. So, really, can't wait to see if they play TCU. What do I got? You'll have to see in my predictions video. Next. The game that people felt that Clemson was going to win big actually came up close. Let's all be for real. Is this really a touchback? Let's be for real. Is it a touchback? Honestly, I need to know what the heck is a touchdown and a touchback nowadays. Honestly, I have no idea. See right there, I don't think it even hit. It didn't even go through the orange. Looking from this side, it's hard to tell. but I don't think it was a touchback. So let's all be for real. Clemson got lucky. Honestly, Clemson, this just proves that you can barely handle now the SEC. Ever since Deshaun Watson left, your team still hasn't. Well, yes, I know. Didn't beat Alabama, but my goodness, though, this team barely kept up with Texas A&M. Texas A&M, you serious? Texas A&M? Texas A&M, you barely kept up with Texas A&M. Texas A&M is just an average school for the SEC, an average team. So really, should we really be all that impressed with them? Wait, what? Wait a second. That's right. It's a choking team. No wonder why I saw this team actually losing to Clemson. Let's all be for real, Clemson. Like I said, it was luck. But, a win's a win. So, can't blame you right there. Next. Oh, wow. Alabama beat a high school team. What be do? I think we all saw this coming. Do I look like I sound like so shocked and all that? Yay. Let's be for real. Everybody knows that Alabama's making to the college football playoffs somehow. I still wish they won't. I still won't give up on Auburn winning the SEC. I'm still not giving up on them, but I swear to God, if we get two SEC teams this year, I'm going to be mad. And really, Alabama doesn't even have a hard of a schedule. They never do. It's Alabama. Bama this, Bama that. Once Nick Saban's retired, we'll go back looking at we look at the old days of Bama sucking, only becoming a team that can only win like 4 games or 5. Then Nick Saban joins, and look what the team has become. Once he retires, can't wait to see this team. All right. Who's in the top 25 for week 2 now? So we are looking at now the rankings. Arizona State 23, Washington 10, USC 22. How are you still in it? Ohio State 4, TCU 15, Mississippi State 16, number 3 Georgia, number 1 Alabama, number 20 Oregon, 19 Michigan, Oklahoma State 14, Boise State 17. Can't wait to see that matchup. West Virginia 14. Auburn 7, LSU 12, Wisconsin 6, Clemson 2, Notre Dame 8, Stanford 9, Virginia Tech 13, Miami 21, UCF 18, Penn State 11, and Oklahoma 5. Wow, none of these rankings have surprised me. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Subscribe to me for another, and you guys will see me doing week 3 on this, on mocking teams and all that. You will see me again doing this.